What up, everybody? It's me, Blake316, and I have another discussion topic for everyone. Like always encourage you to give your opinions. With that being said, feel free to leave a comment below, or I definitely encourage leaving a video response. With that being said, send this video to maybe your favorite YouTubers, and hopefully they'll give their input on the topic. Now, the topic of discussion is top 5 video games of this generation. What's yours? I'm going to give mine. And I feel it's time to do this video mainly because this generation is pretty much over. It consisted of the Nintendo Wii, the DS, the PSP, the Xbox 360, and the PS3. This year was definitely a great generation in my opinion. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best. What really made this generation that good, I have to say, is the online gaming. In previous generations, you always had to either go to a friend's house or have friends come over. With this generation, we had online gaming, which made it easy to connect to people all over the world and just play your games with your friends. With that being said, I'm going to give my top 5 games of this generation. And I'll admit, being able to go online definitely played a huge factor in my top game. That being said, I'm going to give my top 5, and I'm definitely curious to know what your top 5 is. And I'm going to start off with number 5 on my top 5 games of this generation. And my 5th game is the Street Fighter 4 series. Now, this might be a big surprise to some people, or this probably won't even be in a lot of people's top 10. I'm not going to pick a particular Street Fighter, whether it be Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, or Arcade Edition. I particularly really like this game. I thought the Street Fighter series needed a huge reboot, and with Street Fighter 4, it definitely gave it to you. I've been a huge Street Fighter fan. I've been playing this game since Street Fighter 2 back in arcade games and Super NES. And I particularly really enjoyed this series. And I absolutely love the graphic style. I love watching the tournaments. I love being able to play online with people. And because this game was such a huge, this is definitely a game that I constantly played my whole life. Being able to get a new one on this current generation of consoles, I definitely enjoyed it. And I had no disappointments. So this might not make your list, but it definitely makes mine, mainly because I love Street Fighter series, and Street Fighter 4 to me was awesome. And this is number 5 on my top 5 games of this generation. Now, to number 4. This game probably will make nobody's top 5 once again, but that's why everyone's list is unique and original. My number 4 game is Donkey Kong Country for the Nintendo Wii. I absolutely love this game. I mentioned previous times in a lot of my videos on how much I really enjoyed this game. This actually made my game of the year when it actually came out. I mean, if you like the original Donkey Kong Country games on the Super NES, this is 20 times better. It's visually, in my opinion, it looks gorgeous. I love the graphics presentation that they delivered on Nintendo Wii U. It's a 2D side scroller, but the environments in the background is really good, really in 3D, and it's just really nice to look at. But that being said, the gameplay was extremely fun in my opinion. It was also very hard, meaning when you actually beat a level, you get some sort of satisfaction knowing that you beat a level. I remember playing this game and I beat it, and I remember spending like an hour on one level because it was just so frustrating. But I just absolutely enjoyed this game. And this game was definitely number 4 on my top 5 games of this generation. Now, number 3, which is definitely a game that probably make a lot of people's list. And right now, it's actually my running for this year's current game of the year. That's how good I really think it is. And it is Tomb Raider. Not on any particular system. I do own the Xbox 360 version. This game, in my opinion, is by far the best looking game of this generation. I'll tell you guys right now, I do own a PS3, Xbox 360, a Wii, and I do own games like Uncharted. I think this game looks better than Uncharted. I really love the open environments. The story was so good. There's very few games where you can actually have people sit and literally just watch you play for hours. And with this game, I had no problem just letting people watch me play. And they totally enjoyed it because it's like a movie. It's action packed. I love the different weapons. I love the exploration. exploration, excuse me. I just really love this game. I also beat this as well. Granted, it's not as difficult as the previous Tomb Raiders on the original PlayStation. That being said, I still definitely enjoyed the hell out of this game. Unfortunately, the multiplayer wasn't too great. It's unfortunately dead. But I did enjoy the multiplayer as well. But if you've played this game, it's definitely for the single player campaign. And I thought it was really freaking good. And I definitely encourage anyone and everyone to go out and play this game, because it was that good in my opinion. And this was number 3 on my top 5 games of this generation. Number 2 on my list, which probably definitely once again will not make people's top 5 list, is a game by the name of Katherine. I absolutely loved this game. I cannot emphasize enough on how much I love this game. And the reason being, the story is absolutely amazing. I very rarely play games and get into the stories. I just like the gameplay, the action, either the multiplayer. But this story had me addicted. To give a brief rundown, it's about a guy who basically has a relationship with a girl, but apparently he cheats on her. And when he cheats on her, he goes into these dreams where apparently he has to fight for his life to complete these puzzles. And if he dies in the dreams, he dies in real life. But as the story progresses, you know, he has all these types of relationship problems between his girlfriend and the girl he's cheating with, and he has to make decisions that actually affect how the story goes on. And it's like real life questions about women and what happens in relationships. And I just absolutely love this game. I'm leaving so much out of the story because that's just a whole nother video itself that I actually made a video about. This game is amazing. And it's one thing a lot of people got turned off from it because it was extremely hard. I can honestly say I beat this game on normal, and I'm very proud of it because I know a lot of people who beat it on easy because normal is too hard. But I beat it on normal. I absolutely love the story. This is a great game. I haven't played a game with this great of story in such a long time, and I definitely recommend people who are into anime, which I'm not, by the way, who just like crazy stories with tons of action and puzzle games. This is number 2 on my top 5 games of this generation. Now, number 1 game of all consoles for this whole generation is, I know I'm going to catch a lot of slack, but this is my list. And it is no other than Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Now, a lot of people might be saying, you cannot be serious, you picked a Call of Duty game. Let's be honest here. This was when it was cool to play Call of Duty, before the series got milked and everyone was hating on it. But that being said, when you've played Call of Duty 4 for the first time, the online multiplayer was amazing. I got all the achievements in this game. I beat the game on Veteran. The campaign was nothing spectacular. But the online multiplayer at the time was the best thing out. I literally spent 2 years playing this game. I got to a level 55 prestige. We used to play this every day with my friends and online buddies. There was nothing touching this. Now granted, if there was no online features with this game, like I said, online played a huge role in this year's generation. This game wouldn't be the best, or wouldn't be number 1. But for that online factor alone, I had tons of fun. I have tons of stories to tell. I'm just playing this game all the time for over 2 years straight, online, non-stop, and it was that fun to me. And I truly enjoyed this game. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for the rest of the games in the series, but this one right here was top of the line, cream of the crop, the best game out at the time. And in my opinion, it definitely changed gaming for a whole lot for the future for every first-person shooter that's to come out since. With that being said, this is my number 1 game of this generation, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. But that is my top 5 games of this generation. Already I'm onto the Wii U. I have an Ouya. I plan on getting an Xbox One as well as 360. Like I said, if you want, make your own video response to your top 5 games of this generation. These are mine. I'm curious to know what yours are. It's me, Blake316. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook. Until next time, peace.